Hi, I'm Linda Thompson, and I thank you for connecting with us. Here at Can Buzz, we aim to normalize cannabis through content, community, and conversation. And today we are joined by one of my favorite people, Miss Kelly Addison. She is a self-professed hippie, a newly soon-to-be ordained minister, a Reiki master, a cannabis advocate, a cannabis influencer, a community counselor, an entrepreneur, and the founder of the fabulous Kelly's Green Lounge brand. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much. That's a long title, a lot of things, a lot of different hats I wear.
You do, and you're not only wearing those hats, you are kicking butt with all of these things that you're doing, and your energy and your enthusiasm. It's truly inspiring.
Thank you so much for saying that. You inspire me too, Linda. I can't believe I'm talking to you on here. It's like I feel like I've made it in cannabis now that I'm with Can Buzz here.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Well, you have definitely made it. You have so many things that I want to talk to you about and want to share with our audience, and want to certainly be able to get the people connected to some of the things that you're offering, because I think there's really a need for that. Let's start with just even your virtual group. You've got Kelly's Green Lounge has a community on Facebook that's north of 2,000 people and growing every day. Super high engagement. And so tell us a little bit about Kelly's Green Lounge on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's where we started. Our virtual or our in real life lounge didn't come until much later. We started sort of as a little grassroots group, and I would go out to little events and I would meet people. And then our Facebook grew to an Instagram group. And then so we were building that online, and then all of a sudden people really liked what we were doing, and then we had some cannabis influencers and friends of cannabis in the community that were adding all kinds of people, and we grew and we grew and we grew to what we are virtually now.
Well, that's wonderful. And you did touch base a little bit on your lounge, and that's located in Arona. I'm sure I've said that wrong. I'm sure. How do we say it?
Orono.
Orono.
It's like
Orono.
porno.
Porno,
Porno.
but Orno. Okay, I got it now. Awesome, thank you. And you've got this really great space, and you're coming to us live from that space today, correct?
Sort of see the stage behind us. I actually just built that stage. I moved everything around the lounge. This sort of area was out there before, and I switched it during the time that we've been COVIDing. And the reason for that is because we're really building up our Friday night events, which involve comedy and live music and trivia. So we had to build a stage, and that's what that's for. We're also doing a course in the room that I'm in too, but I'm sure we'll get to that a little bit later.
I'm sure we will. Another one of the things you do, which is educate, which is amazing, because there's no shortage of need for education. So the lounge that you've got there, tell us a little bit about what it was like pre-COVID and what you're hoping to do with the lounge when things can start to open up again.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the wonderful thing about it was that when I decided to open up here, I live in Orono. I bought my home here 7 years ago, and I joined all the different volunteer things and the fair, and you sort of become part of the community. When I decided to open up here, the mayor actually came to my grand opening and all of his constituents. So we had this big green ribbon, and on one side I had brought in some wonderful cannabis community members that have been part of what fighting for legalization, because we had our grand opening on October 17th, 1 year after legalization. So we had all these cannabis people on this side, and then on this side we had the mayor and all of the municipal people that would come, and it was sort of this neat thing where we were bringing cannabis to Clarington, which is our municipality, because we hadn't had anything to do with cannabis at all here. So I was the first one, so it was very nice to have them welcome us. And then when we did, we just made the lounge really flourish. And when we do our Friday nights, which are ticketed events, this place sells out like this. And it's not a big place. It's not like we're selling out a stadium or anything. But as soon as we put those tickets out there, people want them. And they come for our Friday night rec nights, but we also do a lot of education in here all weekend long, and sometimes during the week in the evenings. But we also have a lounge where people can have their hot and cold drinks. They can bring their cannabis to consume. We do not smoke in the lounge because it's an Ontario bylaw that you're not allowed to smoke inside. But of course, you can consume your cannabis in so many other ways. So people bring their tincture and put it in their drinks. They bring their edibles and they eat it alongside the coffee that they would buy here. So it sort of works like that organically. Yeah, we're starting our course, which is in this room. We're going to be teaching a full day course, and the room in here, people will set up, and I have 4 other educators that are teaching the course with me. It's called the Homeostasis Hippie, and it's sort of like when you show up in the morning to get first aid CPR trained and you leave at night and you're certified. That's what happens here. So you come in the morning and you're certified by the evening, and it's cannabis, of course, education, but it's also how to be a good human, how to not use single-use plastic, and how to love and be part of your community. And we just really want to make the world a better place through cannabis.
Wow, that's truly inspiring and it's beautiful. What a great mission. And you're doing a lot of this. Are these classes going to be in person or are they going to be virtual?
They always were until this COVID thing happened.
Right.
We would have people that would come in and we would fill these rooms and we would talk about infusions and we would panel on dogs and CBD there were so many topics that we did. So they would come in the lounge and they would learn here their education, but we've switched it to virtual now because we can't gather right now.
Right. Okay, great. So people can find out about this, I guess, over on your group, right? Your Facebook group or through Instagram. Um, okay, so and there's a lot. Let's talk a little bit more about the virtual community. You've got a lot going on there. I saw, it's almost like a TV show. There's episodes and there's all kinds of different ways to engage. So I've seen cannabis study groups, live sesh talk shows. Tell us a little bit about what people could expect to see happening on your virtual Facebook group community.
It's like a dream come true to have had all of these people that want to be involved. It's a beautiful thing. It happened really with 420 because we would have had a big 420 celebration this year, being 420, 2020, and all the 20s, but of course we couldn't. So we decided we're just going to make it virtual. So from the moment we woke up to the moment we went to bed, we had live programming all day, and that sort of inspired me. I was able to get educators and entertainers and chefs and cooks and bakers and all these people that came and did the lives all day long. It was beautiful. And then I thought, well, what if we could continue that a little bit? So yes, we do. Every day of the week, we offer some sort of programming. It could be a holistic nutritionist who's teaching us about how she uses CBD and her herbs. We have a talk show that happens every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 o'clock with Trev Jones, who is a cannabis educator as well. We have, like you said, the cannabis study group. We have people, we have a cannabis educator in Quebec that comes and does a show every Monday. We have a cannabis educator I believe she's in London, that comes on every Tuesday. So we've sort of found these incredible people all over our province and all over our country. And we said, hey, can you teach these guys virtually? And they are. So people are coming in, and our numbers are crazy, coming into these lives and tuning in and asking questions and being educated. And it's so beautiful what's happening. And people are tuning in just specifically to learn about cannabis. And then also there's some that come for the recreational shows because they're stuck in their houses and they can't bong by themselves, or well, they can, but how fun is that? So they get to come on and live sesh with the people that are doing that. It's almost always educational too. This is a dab break. This is how you roll a joint or fill a bong bowl or something like that. But we're session live too.
Well, that's great. And so we're talking about your cannabis, cannabis consumption. Why don't you tell our audience and your audience how you discovered a love or a joy with cannabis? Go back to the beginning.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't remember a time when cannabis wasn't in my life. I was one of those teenage users, but it wasn't like somebody said, oh, this is an illegal thing. It just was around. In my 20s, I went and I was a radio announcer and I worked in the music industry, dated a lot of musicians, and I
Mm.
had a lot of party time, and went on tours with different artists. And so it just was like, it was there. And then I left that industry when I had my little boy, and straightened up and became a teacher. And not straightened up, but sort of, more of the neurotypical sort of straight path, right? And at that point in time, we were getting close to when legalization was when it was being talked about. And I was somebody that was going into Toronto every weekend to pick up to go to the illegal dispensaries, because before, I think it was Operation Claudia, they had them on every corner, and it was fantastic. And I was able to get that. And then I was bringing it to people, and I was always the person that was bringing the pot brownies and the popcorn when everybody was bringing wine to the parties. So it was just there. But being a teacher, I had a lot of families that were coming to me and saying, what's going on, Kelly? This is happening. Is it okay? Oh my God, cannabis. So I thought at that point in time, I need to do some education. I need to go back to school and learn about cannabis so that I can help these people. My mom became sick at the same time. I thought, oh, maybe if I could, I went to McMaster University and took science of cannabis course. Maybe if I have some sort of diploma or some sort of degree in something, I can show it to her and say, cannabis is okay. And she can get off of all the medication that she's on and use cannabis. It didn't work. She still had that silly stigma. But if I can't help my mom, I can help other moms. And that's when I decided I need to do something and bring the message forward, because there was that awful stigma that all these people had. And I just really wanted to bring the message forward that cannabis heals and all the therapeutic properties of cannabis, because I learned that. I was this recreational user, and I was, getting high and not understanding how it was working in my body. And then I did. And then I was like, wow, give me more. Give me CBD, give me CBN, give me THC, give me it all. And then I want to learn about it and give it to everybody else too.
Well, that's great. And you do a lot of sharing and you do a lot of healing, which is wonderful. And one of the things I know that you've been doing, a lot of work to help people with addiction. And what impact, in your opinion, has cannabis had on those that you're helping? And what have you seen firsthand?
So I guess I came into cannabis naive about addictions. I really hadn't been faced with them, so I didn't understand. And all of a sudden, people were coming through my door, and they were dealing with that, and they needed support. And so I actually had some members that were former addicts come to volunteer and be part of our community. And we thought, maybe we should offer a support group for those that maybe don't have anywhere else to go. Because unfortunately, when you're in programs like AA and NA, they don't allow you to come off of your substances with cannabis. It's just not allowed. But there are so many people that use cannabis as harm reduction. There are people that that would be on something called methadone to come off of an addiction. And instead of using that, which is another chemical, they're using RSO, and it's replacing it. So we're finding that the more need for it, and I'm telling you, Linda, is so sad, because there's such a need for it. It is, I didn't understand what it was until the last 6 months, and I'm shocked. It's in every community. It's breaking hearts. People are losing their lives. People are dying all over the place because of pills and chemicals, doctors prescribing things that they shouldn't be. So we're just trying to offer an alternative. We have a lot of people in the community that donate cannabis, and it goes out to people that need it, that are using it for harm reduction. Because our community is so connected to each other and works so well together, virtually and in real life, everybody seems to be working together to support people that are affected with addictions. It's not necessarily addictions to substances either. It could be gambling. But we've offered it to everybody, and we've continued virtually, which is very nice. We do it every other Tuesday. It's a group called Support, and we do it online, and more people are joining every week, and we've been finding that there's a real need for it, and we've been helping.
That's amazing. And so if somebody was watching and they wanted to be part of this group, what would they do? How would they get to the support section?
Sure, they would just contact me and I would add them to a private group. We are a very private group when we do meet virtually. Everybody's in agreement that we don't speak about it offline. And it's some people don't even have their cameras on. They're just there to listen. There are times that during the week they will reach out to myself. We have a member of the support group that is a Chem H worker, and she's got experience with that. We've got a social worker in the group. And so we've put everybody together sort of so that they can meet with each other, whether or not it's a group night or not. And they can find us you can email me info@kellysgreenlounge.ca or find us on any social media and we'll be able to link you with the group.
That's great. That's awesome. So let's look back over the last couple of years. You and I have certainly bumped into each other at a number of events, which is always amazing. But I wondered if you could just share with us one of your favorite memories, sort of in this legalization experience that we've all had together. Is there something that stands out for you?
Yeah, for sure. So in my past careers, I've always been speech makers. I introduced bands on stages. I was always somebody that was on a stage, but I'd never been on a stage for cannabis until the Cannabis Muskoka Festival, which happened this past summer in August. And I was on stage and I spoke about breaking the stigma as well as how to speak to your kids about cannabis. And Jackie Childs came to see me speak.
Oh,
All the way to see me speak, Linda. And I was so excited to see her. And I met so many new friends there. I got on the stage and I went like this. Hello, Muskoka! And I woke the whole place up because they were so quiet at that point in time. And I'm
okay.
just not a quiet human. So I thought, let's just breathe some life into this party. And it was a wonderful speech. Yeah, it was so neat.
What a great memory. That's awesome. That is wonderful. So tell us the Kelly's Green Lounge brand, KGL. It's a lot of things, certainly, and you're creating and developing the brand. Tell us, what does it look like in 2, 3, 4 years? What's your vision?
There's so much, Linda. Working with you, of course, is such a privilege and an honor to be going forward and doing some work with you in the future. We just opened up our website, so that was just launched this week, and that's opening up a whole area of other things. But going down, I don't know if there's many reverends in cannabis or in Canada that can do cannabis weddings, but I will be one of those in another couple of weeks. So really moving forward with that, the cannabis weddings as well as the Homeostasis Hippie course. I want it taught all over the world and I want to teach people how to be better humans. We're in talks with 2 other locations to franchise Kelly's Green Lounges in different areas of Canada. Yeah. And of course we have our cannabis and comedy brand that we're building with that, and our church.
Oh, that is so exciting. So those are really, really great goals. And I mean, we wish you all the support in the world. We would love to see Kelly's Green Lounge, supporting smaller communities throughout Canada. And we really look forward to, the first wedding or whatever wonderful event you're going to be presiding over as a minister. And there's just, your journey is very exciting. And we're really inspired by all of the love and hope that you're leaving behind, and the education and the advocacy. I mean, you're on fire, lady, and we're super, super appreciative of what you're doing. We know it's a tough grind, and you're building something out of nothing, and we're extremely proud of you. So thank you for letting us be part of your community and part of your journey. If others want to be part of that community, where do you want them to go? Tell people where to find you.
Of course, yeah, we are on all of the social media platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, all of them. You can find us online there. You can email us at info@kellysgreenlounge.ca, or you can find us on our newly created website. I just want to say that I feel like I'm a spokesperson for the plant. I don't sit on any side. I love everybody. I love that plant so much that I just feel like my mission in this world is to just bring it to as many people as I can in the best way possible. And Linda, thank you so much for letting me share that with you today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. And audience, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please find Can Buzz on your favorite social outlet. You can